In this comprehensive series, we'll explore the essential role these little words play in building stronger connections and expressing relationships in the English language. Imagine you're at a lively party and you want to share the location of the snacks with your friend. You might say something like, "The chips are on the table and the dip is in the bowl." With just two prepositions, on and in, you've painted a clear picture of where to find the tasty treats. Prepositions are the unsung heroes of communication, helping us convey spatial, temporal, and other relationships with ease. By mastering these powerful tools, you'll take your English skills to new heights and express yourself with greater clarity and precision. In this lesson, we'll dive into the fundamentals of prepositions, discover their proper positions in sentences, and explore some common challenges learners face when using them. So, grab your favorite snack and get ready to embark on a preposition-packed adventure. Section 1. Defining prepositions. First things first, let's define what prepositions are. These small but mighty words typically come before nouns or pronouns, showing how they relate to other words in the sentence. They're like the glue that holds our ideas together, indicating location, time, direction, and more. Some common prepositions you might recognize include on, in, and at for location, before, after, and during for time, to, from, and into for direction, and of, with, and by for various other relationships. Think of prepositions as the road signs of language. They guide us through the landscape of sentences, pointing out the connections between words and helping us navigate the meaning behind the message. Section 2. The proper position of prepositions. Now that we know what prepositions are, let's talk about where they belong in a sentence. As a general rule, prepositions come before nouns or pronouns, like a loyal friend always standing by their side. However, like any good rule, there are a few exceptions to keep in mind. In questions that start with a preposition, such as, "Who did you go with?" or "What are you talking about?" it's common to find the preposition at the end of the question, especially in informal English. Another exception pops up in relative clauses. In formal English, the preposition takes the lead, coming before the relative pronoun, as in, "The book to which I referred is out of print." But in more casual conversations, we often shift the preposition to the end of the clause, like, "The book I referred to is out of print." So, while prepositions usually stick close to their noun or pronoun pals, they can sometimes wander off to the end of a question or clause, depending on the situation. Section 3. Tackling preposition. Challenges. Learning to use prepositions correctly can be a bit like navigating a maze. There are twists, turns, and the occasional dead end. This is especially true for English learners whose native language handles prepositions differently. One common head-scratcher is figuring out whether a preposition is even needed in a particular phrase. For instance, many European languages would use a preposition before the infinitive in a sentence like, "I came here to study." But in English, we simply let the infinitive stand alone. No preposition required. Another tricky task is choosing the right preposition when one is called for. The correct choice often depends on the specific verb, adjective, or noun it follows. Like a game of linguistic matchmaking, we say interested in, fond of, and similar to, but different from. Mastering these preposition partnerships takes time and practice. But with each challenge you overcome, you'll be one step closer to preposition perfection. Section 4. Prepositions of time and date. When it comes to expressing when something happens, prepositions are the ultimate timekeepers. The most common chronological prepositions are at, on, and in, each with its own special role. We use at for specific times, like at 6 o'clock, at midnight, or at noon. It's also the go-to preposition for holiday periods, such as at Christmas or at Easter, like a festive reminder of the season. On takes the stage for days and dates, as in on Monday, on the 15th of March, or on New Year's Eve. It also steps in when we're talking about a specific part of a day, like on Monday morning or on Friday afternoon. For months, years, seasons, and longer periods, in is the preposition of choice. We say in August, in 2023, in summer, or in the Middle Ages, like a marker of time's broader brushstrokes. Other prepositions that help us navigate the timeline of events include by for deadlines, before and after for sequence, during for a specific time period, since for a starting point, and for to express duration. With these temporal tools in your preposition toolbox, you'll be a master of communicating when things happen. Section 5. Prepositions of place and movement. Prepositions are not only masters of time, but also experts at describing the where and how of things. When it comes to location and movement, these little words really shine. Some common prepositions of place include at, in, on, above, below, under, beside, between, behind, and in front of. They help us pinpoint the exact position of people, objects, and places in relation to one another. We use at for specific locations, like at the park, at the office, or at the corner of Main Street and First Avenue. It's like dropping a pin on a map to mark the spot. In comes into play when we're talking about enclosed spaces, like in the box, in the garden, or in New York City. It's a preposition that invites us to explore what's inside. For surfaces, on is our go-to preposition. We place things on the table, hang pictures on the wall, or find ourselves on the second floor. It's all about that contact and support. Prepositions like above, below, under, beside, between, behind, and in front of help us describe the relative positions of objects or people, like a spatial choreography of words. When we're talking about movement, prepositions like to, from, into, out of, towards, and through take the lead. They guide us from one point to another, tracing the path of motion. By mastering these prepositions of place and movement, you'll be able to give clear directions, describe scenes with precision, and express the dynamic flow of actions and ideas. Section 6. Prepositions with verbs and adjectives. In English, many verbs and adjectives have a special bond with certain prepositions. They're like inseparable friends, always showing up together to convey a specific meaning. Some common verb plus preposition duos include apply for, a job, believe in, something, consist of, parts, depend on, someone or something, listen to, someone or something, and wait for, someone or something. Adjectives also have their preposition partners like afraid of, something, familiar with, something, interested in, something, responsible for, something, and similar to, something. It's crucial to remember that the preposition used with a verb or adjective can completely change its meaning, like a secret code that unlocks a different interpretation. That's why learning these combinations and using them accurately is so important. Think of these preposition pairings as the secret handshake of the English language. Once you know them, you'll be able to communicate with clarity and precision, impressing native speakers with your mastery of these linguistic duos. Section 7. Prepositions with gerunds. Gerunds, those versatile verb forms ending in ing that act as nouns, have a special relationship with prepositions. When a verb follows a preposition, it must put on its gerund disguise. This rule applies to all prepositions except to, which prefers the company of infinitives. It's like a secret pact between prepositions and their verbal companions. Some common preposition plus gerund pairs include by doing, the means of achieving something, for doing, the reason behind an action, in doing, while engaged in an activity, and on doing, immediately after completing a task. When using a preposition before a verb, always remember to switch to the gerund form. It's like a grammatical costume change that ensures your sentences are properly dressed for the occasion. By mastering the art of pairing prepositions with gerunds, you'll add a new level of sophistication to your English expression, showcasing your understanding of this important grammatical partnership. Section 8. The versatility of prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases are the superheroes of the grammar world, swooping in to modify nouns and verbs with extra information and descriptive power. These phrases combine a preposition with its object, like a dynamic duo ready to enrich your sentences. Some common prepositional phrases include in the morning, afternoon, evening, on time, for punctuality, at night, by mistake, for accidental actions, for sure, to express certainty, in fact, to emphasize truth, on purpose, for intentional acts, and under pressure, to describe stressful situations. These phrases add depth and clarity to your communication, like brush strokes that enhance the overall picture. They help you convey specific times, reasons, and circumstances, making your language more vivid and engaging. By incorporating prepositional phrases into your speaking and writing, you'll paint a more detailed and nuanced picture for your audience, inviting them to fully understand and appreciate the richness of your expression. Section 9. Prepositions. Doubling as adverbs. In the fascinating world of English grammar, some prepositions lead a double life. They can shed their prepositional duties and step into the role of adverbs, modifying verbs directly without the need for an object. These adaptable words include above, below, inside, outside, up, down, away, back, before, after, and since. When you spot them in a sentence without an object trailing behind, you know they've donned their adverbial cape. As adverbs, these words add an extra layer of meaning to the verbs they modify, like a seasoning that enhances the flavor of a dish. They help express direction, location, time, and manner, making your sentences more precise and descriptive. When using prepositions as adverbs, pay close attention to the context to ensure you're employing them correctly. It's like solving a grammar puzzle, where the clues lie in the surrounding words and the overall meaning of the sentence. By mastering the art of using prepositions as adverbs, you'll add a new dimension to your English proficiency, showcasing your ability to wield those versatile words with confidence and skill. Section 10. The path to preposition mastery. The journey to preposition mastery is paved with practice, exposure, and a healthy dose of curiosity. To truly excel in using these essential words, it's crucial to seek out opportunities to engage with authentic English content. Read extensively, listen attentively to native speakers, and watch English language media to immerse yourself in the natural flow of the language. Each encounter with prepositions and context is like a piece of a puzzle, gradually revealing the bigger picture of how they function. When you come across a new preposition or prepositional phrase, jot it down in your language learning journal. This simple act of noting and reflecting on your discoveries will help you internalize the patterns and nuances of preposition usage. And remember, making mistakes is a natural and necessary part of the learning process. Embrace the occasional slip-up as a valuable opportunity to learn and grow. With each error, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the intricacies of English prepositions. So, dive in, explore, and let your curiosity guide you. The more you engage with prepositions in authentic contexts, the more comfortable and confident you'll become in using them effectively. Section 11. Navigating the world of phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are the chameleons of the English language, blending verbs with prepositions or adverbs to create entirely new meanings. These combinations can be both fascinating and challenging for language learners, as the individual words often take on a different sense when joined together. Take, for example, the phrasal verb give up. While give and up have their own distinct meanings, when combined, they convey the idea of quitting or surrendering. Similarly, look after means to take care of someone or something. Run out of suggests using up a supply. Turn off means to switch something off, and get along with implies having a good relationship. When using phrasal verbs, it's essential to keep the preposition or adverb closely connected to the verb. In some cases, these combinations are inseparable, while others allow the object to squeeze between the verb and the preposition or adverb. For instance, you can say, "Please turn the lights off," or "Please turn off the lights," depending on the specific phrasal verb and the context. To master phrasal verbs, start by making a list of the ones you encounter in your English learning journey. Note their meanings and practice using them in various contexts. Pay close attention to how the preposition or adverb can change the meaning of the base verb, and embrace the opportunity to expand your vocabulary with these dynamic combinations. By incorporating phrasal verbs into your English repertoire, you'll add a new layer of depth and nuance to your communication, expressing ideas with greater precision and naturalness. Section 12. Unveiling the secrets of idiomatic expressions. Idiomatic expressions are the secret code of the English language, where words conspire to convey meanings that extend beyond their literal definitions. These phrases often include prepositions, adding an extra layer of complexity and color to the way we communicate. Consider expressions like "in the long run," meaning over an extended period; "on the edge," indicating a precarious situation; "out of the blue," suggesting an unexpected event; "under the weather," implying feeling ill; and "by heart," referring to memorization. Each of these phrases carries a figurative meaning that enriches our language and adds depth to our expressions. To unravel the secrets of idiomatic expressions, pay close attention to how native speakers use them in various contexts. Be a language detective, observing how these phrases appear in conversations, movies, books, and other media. When you encounter a new expression, jot it down and investigate its meaning and origin. As you build your collection of idiomatic expressions, practice weaving them into your own speaking and writing. Embrace the opportunity to express yourself with greater creativity and flair, painting vivid pictures with your words and conveying emotions and ideas that extend beyond the literal. By mastering idiomatic expressions, you'll not only enhance your English proficiency, but also gain a deeper appreciation for the richness and complexity of the language, unlocking a whole new world of expressive possibilities. Section 13. Navigating preposition variations across dialects. As you embark on your English learning journey, it's essential to recognize that preposition usage can vary across different dialects. English is a global language spoken in many countries around the world, and each region has its own unique flavors and quirks. For instance, in British English, it's common to say "at the weekend," while American English speakers prefer "on the weekend." Similarly, Brits might say "in hospital," while Americans opt for "in the hospital." When it comes to expressing differences, British English uses "different to" or "different from," while American English favors different than or different from. As you navigate these variations, remember that the key is to be consistent within your chosen dialect and to prioritize clarity in your communication. While it's helpful to be aware of these differences, don't let them overwhelm you or hinder your language learning progress. Embrace the diversity of English and view these variations as opportunities to expand your linguistic horizons. As you engage with speakers from different regions, pay attention to the prepositions they use and the contexts in which they employ them. Each encounter is a chance to broaden your understanding of the language and its many fascinating nuances. By remaining open to dialectal differences and focusing on effective communication, you'll develop a more flexible and adaptable approach to English, equipping you to connect with speakers from all corners of the globe. Congratulations, language adventurers. You've reached the end of our comprehensive journey into the world of English prepositions. Throughout this series, we've explored the essential roles these small but mighty words play in crafting clear, precise, and expressive communication. From mastering the basics of preposition placement and usage to navigating the intricacies of phrasal verbs and idiomatic expressions, you've acquired a wealth of knowledge and skills that will serve you well in your English language endeavors. As we reflect on the key takeaways from this series, let's remember: 1. Prepositions are the glue that holds our ideas together, expressing relationships between words and concepts. 2. The position of prepositions in a sentence can vary, with some exceptions to the general rule. 3. Choosing the right preposition is crucial, as it can significantly alter the meaning of a verb, adjective, or noun. 4. Gerunds are the go-to form when a verb follows a preposition, except for to plus infinitive. 5. Phrasal verbs and idiomatic expressions often rely on prepositions to convey their unique meanings. 6. Dialectal variations in preposition usage exist, but consistency and clarity should be your guiding principles. Your dedication and hard work throughout this series have laid a solid foundation for your continued growth and success in mastering English prepositions. But remember, the journey doesn't end here.
The power of prepositions.
Prepositions guide the way, show connections every day. At the party, see the scene, chips on the table dip in between. Prepositions lead us right in our speech, day and night. With location, time and flow, they help our language grow. Little words that make us stand, glue of language, hand in hand, on in at. They pave the way, before, after, during the day. Prepositions lead us right in our speech, day and night. With location, time and flow, they help our language grow. For time and date, they keep us clear at 6 o'clock or in the year. On Monday morning, in August bright, by before and after night. In the box, at the park, on the table, light the spark. Above, below, beside the tree, underneath,